Scholars! I'm going to be helping you with your first grade skills. My name is Miss James, and today we're working on Lesson 19. Let's get started. Today's objectives are to identify features of a sentence, tricky words, common nouns, and the narrator of a story. Answer questions about key details, and read tricky words, the and who. We're going to start off with the tricky words today. What is this tricky word? This tricky word is the. The TH says the sound that we think it should, the. But the E says something different. The E says ah. That's kind of the tricky part in the word, the. Say it with me, the. Now repeat the sentence after me. This is the last slice of pizza. I kicked the ball very hard. Now let's look at another tricky word. What is this tricky word? If you try to sound it out, it would say ah. That's not what it says here. This tricky word is who. None of the sounds here really sound right. You do hear the but O says ooh, and the W doesn't say anything at all. Repeat after me, who. Who has my doll? Who is the principal? Good job. Now remind me, what's this tricky word? That's right, it's the. And what's this tricky word? That's right, it's who. Let's move on to a story. The title for these stories is called Snapshots. What do you think they could be about if the title is Snapshots? When I think of snapshots, I think of pictures. Little reminders to tell you about something you did. We might see some of those in these stories. The first story we're going to read is called Beth. In this story called Beth, you're going to see sentences marked with a period at the end. Remember, a sentence is a complete thought. Listen carefully to learn more about Beth. I'm going to read. You listen. I am Beth. I am 10. I am at camp. Camp is fun. Once Mom and Dad went on a trip to the camp. All of us were at the camp. Dad and I went up on top of a path at the pond. Mom got a snapshot of us. This is the snapshot. Then Mom let us snap some shots. Dad got a snapshot of Mom. I got a snapshot of a dog with a hot dog. Now that we've read through once, I want to go back to the beginning and look at some things from this story. On the very first page, the word I is underlined. Why do you think that word is underlined? It's a tricky word, just like is. They're reminding you that this word might try to trick you, so think carefully. On this next page, there are some nouns that name a person. One noun that names a person is mom. Another noun that names a person is dad. I see some tricky words too. Once, two, the, all, of, were, a, I, and of. That's a lot of different tricky words, but they're all underlined to remind us. If Beth's hair is blowing like it is in this picture, what do you think the weather was like at the top of the path at the pond? If your hair is blowing, what might it be like? It's probably windy up there. Let's go to the next page. How many tricky words do you see on this page? I found 3. Some, of, and a. If you found all 3 too, give yourself a pat on the back. Great work! What do you think the name of this dog is? You might not be able to see it, but there's some tiny little letters on his name tag. I can see that his name is Jet. It's important to look at the pictures when you're reading. Sometimes they have very important information to help you understand, just like the dog's name, Jet. Now I want to look at some questions about the story. In this story, where are Beth and her parents? At the beginning, Beth tells us that they're at camp. Who's telling us this story? Who is the narrator? The narrator of this story is Beth. She's telling us about what they did on their camping trip. Beth took a funny snapshot at the end. What did she take a picture of? She took a picture of a dog eating a hot dog. That's pretty funny. The last thing we're going to do is answer some questions. We're going to use full sentences to answer these questions and write them down. I'll work with you. The first question is, who went to the top of a path at the pond? Do you remember who it was that went to the top of the path at the pond? Let's look back at the story to check. Who is it that's at the top of the path? Beth and her dad. Let's write it in a full sentence. Beth make sure you put spaces between your words, and her dad went to the top of the path. I've run out of room, so I'm going to have to write it off to the side here. But you should have more room on your paper. Beth and her dad went to the top of the path. That's a complete thought, and I ended it with a period and started with a capital letter. Make sure you do the same. Let's look at the next question. Who got some snapshots? In this story, who took snapshots? I remember everyone. Beth, Mom, and Dad took snapshots. Beth, Mom, and Dad took snapshots. Period at the end. Make sure you have a capital letter at the beginning and a period at the end. I'm going to erase this and roll down because we've got a couple more questions. Did Beth get a snapshot of a cat? Did Beth take a snapshot of a cat? No, that's right. She took a snapshot of a dog. So let's say that in our answer. No. Beth took a snapshot of a dog. Capital letter at the beginning and a period at the end every time. Let's see what else we've got. One last question. This one we just have to fill in the bubble for the answer. Dad got a snapshot of. Do you remember what Dad took a snapshot of? Was it a fish, Mom, or Beth? I remember he took a snapshot of Mom in the car. Let's fill in the bubble that says Mom. Great job! We're all finished for today. Give yourself a round of applause. That was a lot of writing. My hand's a little tired. Great work today. I'll see you guys next time.